So today we're going to be unboxing the Luxman L-507 Integrated Amplifier. And it is a big box, as you can see. This one weighs, its shipping weight is right about around 75 pounds. Its actual weight is just under 56 pounds. So they must have a lot of packing material in this thing to add that weight to it. So we'll just kind of dig into it here and just see what we find as we open the box. Luxman is a great brand. It's made in Japan. All of these are handmade, and they take a lot of pride in what they do. And so the result is a great amplifier that I think you guys are really going to love once you get in here and try this out. So, and let me turn this around a bit more there. And, oh, sorry, that's the wrong side. We'll dig into this a little bit better. Okay, so we're open. So that's the outer box. And as you can see, we've got the Luxman LX505 or 507 inner box. There is a 505 version of this, and there is a 509 version of this. Now, what I typically do with this kind of stuff is I tip it over. I pull out the outer box so we can manipulate the inner box a little bit easier. And of course, there's tons of vacuum to make this as difficult as possible. So there we go, there's that. Move that out of the way. Flip this guy back over, and we'll dig into the inner box. So you can see L507z Integrated Amplifier from Luxman. Let's see what we find here. I can tell you as I'm unpacking this, these boxes are probably, the cardboard, especially on this inner box, is extremely thick. I don't know if you can see that. That is very thick cardboard that I'm not used to seeing. So you've got a very sturdy amount of cardboard supporting this with it being double boxed. Got our safety instructions, got our instruction manual here. So we'll take that out. And then once again, I do the flip thing with this so that we're getting the amplifier out of there without too much hassle. Move that box, move this guy, take away one of those, and our power cord, and we'll just tip that back over. So, foam. Man, I don't know that I felt a more sturdy foam on this. That is really thick and tightly packed foam. So, that's always just one of those things of protecting quality and making sure that it is what they promise it to be when it comes into your shop or into your home. So, all right. And I'm already liking what I'm seeing with the packing on this. You know, I'm not one of those guys that really does a lot of unpacking videos, but I thought I'd try it with this one. So look what we have here. Every single one of these has a cap on it. So you've got some nice RCA inputs. These are all copper alloy, and it's got great conductivity of copper, but it's got the durability of brass, and so that's really nice. And then you also have your balanced inputs, so you have your XLRs right there, and we will probably be utilizing those after we get it once we get into the setup. So anyway, yeah, this got here a little earlier than I thought it would, so I may not actually have my XLR cables yet. We may have to go with RCA to get started. And that's okay for a couple of days, I suppose. All right, let's take a look at one more thing. You have a phono input. And so that phono input, you can use either moving magnet or moving coil. And that is a great way of using your integrated amp. A lot of amps over the years kind of did away with the phono input, and now we're coming back to it. So, all right, here's the part I'm really looking forward to, is showing you the face of this guy. It's a beautiful face. And I think I just put a fingerprint on it, but all right, here we go. So we've got some nice big VU meters on there. This is what you might call a, it's more of the retro style that a lot of people like. And so I think you're gonna enjoy that. You've got actually two different headphone inputs there, or headphone jacks. So that's kind of cool. You can do speakers A, B, or A and B, bass, treble, and balance controls. You can also do line straight, which means that you take those out of the equation, and you can't adjust the bass and treble in that configuration. But that gives you really truly what's going on in the music. So, all right, several inputs, and all those kind of click. The volume knob control is a straight control. It's got a max volume and a minimum volume. So it doesn't click, but it's got a very nice movement to it. It's not super loosey-goosey. It's got a little bit of resistance in it, but not tons. So it's got a really nice feel when you're doing the volume. All right, we're going to get this set up with the Oscar Trios from Marten Loudspeakers, and we'll come back to this here in just a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. As you can see, it has the volume right there in the middle, and as we raise and lower it, it goes down to 87 is the last number, but they say 88 is how low it goes. That would be the 0, so that's as quiet as it's going. And this is in negative dBs, so its high point is going to be at 0, and it doesn't go any higher than that. Again, the volume knob is very easy to turn, but it's got a nice resistant feel. I don't like the ones that are just super loosey-goosey. They call this the LECUA 1000 attenuator. I don't know if they pronounce that Lecua, or just LECUA. Anyway, they want to do it, or any way they want to pronounce it, that's what it is. And so that's the type of attenuator that they're using on this. We have a moving magnet, moving coil selector here, and we're on a moving magnet cartridge with this particular setup, but you can hear it clicking in there. That's nice. Also, the input selector, we're on input 2. Right now it's on input 1, so we're going to move it over to input 2, and you can hear that clicking. I really do like hearing those things click. And if I move a couple at a time, you only hear it click once. So that's good too. Again, we've got the speaker selector. We're on speaker A right now. And we also have bass, treble, and then balance control. We'll just stick that straight at the middle, and we'll do all these straight at the middle as we get started here. But anyway, also the VU meters are very cool. So they're just showing dBs on there, and so it's pretty sweet, and everybody likes a good VU meter. So there's also a standby indicator here, right there, which you can kind of tell because the VU meters are no longer lit up. You have loudness controls. It'll indicate if you're line straight. It also has a mute button. And the thing that I didn't talk about earlier is it actually has two headphone jacks. This is your typical 1/4-inch jack that you would use on your headphones. Now this is not a 3.5 millimeter jack. This is actually a 4.4 millimeter jack, and it has separate grounding for left and right. So you're going to get a little bit more separation with your headphones if you've got that set up. So that's a really nice feature on here for you audiophiles that love your headphones. I definitely would find that to be a feature that I would enjoy a lot. So we're going to get into this a little bit more once we get our streamer set up, and we're going to fire all this stuff up. All right, so one thing we really haven't talked about yet is the remote control, and it is a solidly built remote. It's got a little bit of weight to it, so that's always a good feel in the hand. You don't feel like it's gonna just go flying at any time, so that's one thing I like. But the other thing I really like is just the simple amount of contrast between the black labeling and the silver remote. A lot of time remotes don't necessarily have that, and you have a difficult time reading those buttons and knowing what you're getting ready to press. There is a meter button up here in the top right corner. And when I use that, as you might guess, it's going to affect the VU meters, but it's also going to affect the volume control. So here's one click. The volume marking goes away. 2 clicks, the meter goes away itself. And if I do a 3rd click, that comes all back on. But the nice thing is when you do the click for the volume marking to go away, when you do change the volume, it does come back up, and then it'll disappear in just a moment. There you go. So here you go. There it is with the meters down again, and then the meters back up, and volume indicator is also up there. So that's another nice little feature. We're going to play a little music here. Right now we have the Luxman set up with a Bluesound node, and we also have some Marten Oscar duos that we'll be listening to, and I think you're going to find this really delightful. I did do one quick check just to make sure that I had everything operational so we don't waste time in this portion of the video, but we'll set it right around 37, I think was a good marking, and we're going to take a listen to what this guy does. And obviously this is all over the computer or your phone, and so you're not really hearing what it's doing, but I can tell you it is delightful here in the shop. I'll turn that up a little bit. I'm up at 33 now. Very nice low end on that.
Our bodies are hurting like hell. They promise to never leave us alone. Our hearts are breaking like bones. Picking stars like apples from the sky, threatening to throw them in the sea, so we won't have anything to gaze upon. What happened to liberty and the bridges we almost got done? What happened to that? Was going to take us home? Dreams are breaking like glass.
All right. Well, I've got a little bit of extraneous noise outside the shop. We've got sirens and dogs barking. But one thing I wanted to talk about before we end this video on the Luxman L-507z is the speaker terminals in the back. They are really well designed to accept spade connectors, as well as the banana plugs, or just to do a straight connection with your wire. But I really enjoyed the alignment guides for the spade connectors. I think that's a really great way to do that. And so kudos to them on that design aspect. We're going to still run some tests, and we'll check every single line input, and eventually we'll check those balanced inputs as well, just to see and also the phono input. But really impressed, first impressions by the Luxman L-507z. All right, come back to our channel anytime. We've got some great Signal Paths episodes with Doug Moore, who is an audio reviewer and speaker designer, and I think you're going to love his stuff as well. I'm Ryan, and this is Vassal High End Audio and Home Theater in Carl Junction, Missouri, Southwest Missouri, serving not only Southwest Missouri, but Northwest Arkansas, Northeast Oklahoma, and Southeast Kansas.